Hey, hello, very warm welcome to part 3 of my little mini series, 3 parts. This is the last one, called How to Take Back Your Power. So please watch the part 1 and 2 to get the first 2 really must-know keys if you want to learn to take back your power in those situations when you feel triggered and when you know you're actually giving your power away and you shouldn't. So today I want to give you the key number 3, which is the last most important thing to know when you're going through this whole scenario of feeling really wobbly and not being able to stand strong and speaking up for yourself, and or maybe reacting, because you feel emotionally triggered, and how to not do that. So this is the last key. Now, what does that actually mean? To stay in your power? Because we talked in the last 2 series, we talked a lot about what it means, why you're doing this, taking away your power, because you are actually acting from your ego mind. And because the ego mind is in need, and therefore you are reactive, you feel maybe like a victim, you feel you're codependent, and you need rescuing, you need the love from the people around you, and therefore you are doing this whole giving away your power. So what does it mean to be in your power? So there, when you are actually heart-centered and calm within the core of your being, you are feeling still, you're feeling peace, there's no turmoil, there's no pulling you out of it, there's just, you're able, peace and calm and love, and you're able to observe what's going on. That's really where you want to get back to. And so it's very, very important to know that you know of these 2 realms, that you could either come from your ego mind, or you are living and dwelling and observing whatever's going on from your heart realm, from the true essence, from the essence of your divine being that you are. So the giveaway is always the emotion, it's how you're feeling. If you're not feeling calm and peaceful, you are not in the realm of the love, of the heart, of the soul. But if you're feeling tumultuous, if you're feeling upset in some ways or fearful, you can tell for sure that you are in the ego realm. So if you feel triggered, you will feel a strong pull, a strong emotion, and it will pull you out of your center usually, and then you're in that emotion and you are identified with it. And if that's already happened, it's very dangerous to react now, isn't it? It's most likely going to happen because you're so identified and it feels very real. And what I'd like to show you, and I invite you to practice, is to immediately catch yourself. Oh God, I'm feeling strongly triggered here, and now my task is to not react and to not give my hurt or pain or fear outward to the person around me, but stay here with myself and deal with it in myself, rather than involving the people around you, because they have nothing to do with your feeling, your emotion. They were just the deliverer of your trigger. They were there to show you, look, you have a trigger that needs to be healed. That's why this scenario has happened. That's why the people, were there in your life to show you this, because you are projecting this hurt out energetically. And you might be having a belief, I'm not loved, I'm not wanted. And then again and again, you are attracting to you people who are showing you that. They play the role for you in a way. It's like a big drama on the stage of life here on earth. So the sooner you can come back to your truth and to your calm and your love, your stillness inside your heart, the better. Now this takes a lot of practice, and the more you can dissolve your triggers, the more of these untrue beliefs that are actually underneath the triggers, the more of those you can dissolve and actually let go and release, the calmer you become naturally. And that's what I highly recommend you do. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to hold your stillness, to let that win, because the emotion is usually stronger. It feels more real. But now, when you are in this trigger moment, yeah, you feel the trigger, you feel the ego wants to pull you in there. This is what's happening. This person is overpowering me. This person is not respecting me. They've treated me badly. They're the baddies, and all that, lots and lots of story. And then come back to yourself and realize, no, I'm choosing not to go in there. I'm choosing, and you know, I remember doing that not so long ago. A few months ago, I had a little trigger like this, and I had to really breathe, stay centered. I wasn't speaking to anybody. I went to inside myself, and I dealt with it myself. And I kept breathing and feeling into my heart, finding my heart center, finding my core. And it took a while to, you know, maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Everybody's different here, of course. But the practice of that, of not allowing yourself to be pulled away, is the hardest and the most winning. If you can do that, you can stay calm when you get triggered. And that's really what we want to achieve. Because every time you give your power again to the emotional trigger, to the ego mind, it wins, and you give it power, and it stays put, it stays, it keeps its power. But if you are not doing that and you're staying centered in yourself, you're giving your heart the power. And so you see, the more you can do that, the more you're staying put with yourself, and the more you are giving yourself the power rather than the ego mind. You see how very, very important that is. And because your purpose here is to shine your light, to shine your love, to be yourself, so people can experience your authentic self and enjoy your true being, rather than, you know, the ego self that you might project or play. And the more you are actually projecting your light, and the more you are shining from your heart, the more lovable you are automatically. And you don't need love anymore, because you are being your own love, you see? So that's what you really want to achieve when you are wanting and choosing to, deciding to take back your power. When all the power is with you, and you are still in your own heart, and you're not allowing anything on the outside to trigger you, and you're not giving that any meaning, you're not giving that any power, and you can stay calm inside, that's when you're winning. That's when you're with yourself. And that's when you're deciding, no, sorry, I don't need you, I don't need this. I'm going to come back to myself. Okay, so the key, this is the key, number 3, is to ask yourself, if this is really helpful, what would love do now? When you are feeling triggered, you know, and you want to maybe lash out, maybe you want to have an argument, maybe you want to avoid the argument, and you're retreating and feeling hurtful. What would love do? So pure unconditional love, or you can ask, what would God do? It's the same thing. Would love you, would love the part of you that is upset or fearful, and give all the attention to that part in you. And the outside world does not need to know anything about that. So that's your job, to now deal with that part in you and to give love to that part. And so this question, what would love do, is really, really powerful and helpful in lots of situations. I have that as my tool under my sleeve. You know, I used to have that ready to ask whenever I needed to come back to my own truth, whenever I got upset. And so the key number 3 is really to come back to your heart, or stay centered in your heart. This is what you want to gain, you know, this is the practice you need to do, and then the aim is to stay put. So you're able to observe your trigger, but not go into it. You could feel it really strongly, maybe even, but no, I'm not going there. I'm staying here in my heart. And that's the must-do key number 3 if you don't want to give away your power anymore. Okay, if you've got any questions about this, if you want to share something, please do in the comment boxes down there in the comments. If you liked it, please let me know. If it helped you, let me know, give me a like and subscribe if you want to know more about how to empower yourself and love yourself unconditionally so you can live your life from your love instead of your fear and the ego mind. Okay, thank you for watching. I appreciate you for wanting to empower yourself. This is so important right now on this planet, and I'd love you to share the video. If you've got friends who also could do with this, please do. Until next time, bye for now.